Hello and welcome to Classic Car Diaries. Today we take a look at what was once Britain's second largest car manufacturer. But what's crazy is that none of its brands exist today. So we're sitting here aboard this beautiful 1959 Singer Gazelle Series 3 convertible. We are joined by its owner, Ramal Singer. Thank you so much for being here, Ramal.
My pleasure.
Can you tell us where your journey with this beautiful car began?
So being into cars, and at that time I was running my mother's Fiat 500 station wagon.
That itself is quite a rare car. A Giardinieri.
No, I got the Belvedere. It's the older model.
Okay.
Very few of them left
Yes,
now.
I can imagine.
And I was at this cocktail party through work. It was an insurance cocktail party. And there was this gentleman, a relative of mine, Mr. Desmond Antapattu. And he said he's got a Singer Gazelle because he was running his father's Woolsey 1500, which was in pristine condition.
Sure.
And I said, oh, really? And he said, it's for sale. I said, fine, I'll come and see it. And this was 2004. When I saw it, it was a miserable looking junkyard. So anyway, car had some character and promising. Interior was not in this condition, but it was intact.
Sure.
Unmodified, nothing done. Engine looked good. And after a brief negotiation, I bought it. This was at his place at the Hibbler, but it was not transferred, so we had to trace the original owner, but it's the owner before. He was the third owner, I think. And we went all the way to Galle.
My gosh.
Now, what is interesting was this was Christmas Eve 2004, the year of the tsunami. And this guy was living near the sea. So we went just in time, and Mr. Antapattu, being a real stickler for auspicious times, said, if you go there at 9:30, we'll definitely meet this man. So we went at 9, we met him at 9:30 in the morning and got him to sign the transfer papers, that form. So then, we don't know, I don't know what happened after the 26th, but I think it was in the nick of time.
Because, I mean, just after 9 a.m., 2 days later.
Exactly.
That's truly an auspicious time.
It was a big house, I'm sure the house stands.
Yeah.
But that was luck. So I asked him, why did he sell it? So he said the car was too hot with the fabric hood, so he didn't like the car.
Oh,
it was
dear.
pure inconvenience.
Yeah.
So I think this was lying in a garage for some time. So my uncle, being a motor assessor, traced this in a garage in Galle.
And he must have known of where the papers were. Okay.
So he then brought it down to Colombo, and I think he tried to start the project, but it never got off.
Okay.
So I gladly took it over. And these are restored in Moratua. This gentleman, Percy Fernando, now he's quite feeble. So it was a ground-up job. Thing was, he had a very good tinker.
Right.
Now my mud
Very
guards-
hard to find nowadays.
Correct, because this has a lot of lines.
Yeah.
Very fine lines.
Yeah, I can see that.
So when I got the car, the lines, somebody had tinkered around with the lines.
Right.
So we found that there was a saloon of this model in Katunagar.
Yeah.
So on New Year's Day 2005, 2006,
Okay.
we drove up there with the tinker.
You really like your Decembers, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what somehow it coincided with my work schedule also.
Yeah. Sure.
And we took the tinker. So tinker just closed his eyes and traced his fingers on the mudguard.
Yeah.
And said, this is enough, I can do it for you.
Super.
And as you can see, the lines are perfect.
They are perfect. Yeah, yeah.
So the skill that went into this car and the dedication. So it was a 3-year project.
I think what you said previously about how the previous owner sold it, didn't want it because of the heat, because the convertible roof really shows you the different way of thinking between classic car enthusiasts and non-enthusiasts.
Very true.
Because, you know, for us, we don't even think about comfort or any of that. For us, it's like a convertible. It's like, you know, it's rare. By the way, I have never seen another one of these. Are there others?
Okay, there was one that I knew of, the older model.
Yeah.
It was somewhere in Montreal, but it belonged to a planter.
Okay.
But I think that would have gone to the ground now.
Yeah. Mount
There would have been a few.
Lavinia Breeze is not great for classic cars. Because even a Singer Gazelle in general is a rare thing now.
Yeah.
When you were younger, did you see these around? Would you see more?
Of course, very much.
Really?
There are quite a few convertibles on the road, really.
Okay.
And so that was a real draw for me.
Yeah.
I still have some dream convertibles which I hope are around,
Yeah.
that I can reach them. But certainly,
Yeah.
of course, we saw a whole lot, at that time we used to see a whole lot of Healy Sprites on the road. A lot of ladies used to drive that, and the
Okay.
MGs and the Sunbeams were there.
Yeah.
But at that time, nobody took much notice because again, it was a convenience factor. I
Yeah.
mean, to get into an MG, is a challenge, right?
Even what you just said, all of the manufacturers you just mentioned, only MG is still around, and it's now completely different in its character to what it was in the back in the day. It's a completely different brand. So that really goes back to how we started this video, which is that the Roots group, which was Sunbeam, Hillman, Singer. Now when we think of Singer, all we can think of is the electronic stores in Sri Lanka, and maybe
And that's Chinese.
And that's Chinese, mostly Chinese stuff, and maybe the sewing machines from back in the day.
Correct.
You don't think about the cars anymore, so it's...
Okay, there's a distinction. They're not same Singer sewing machine company.
Yes.
It's the American company, if I'm correct.
Yes.
These are pure British, and I think there was a Mr. Singer, I'm sure, somewhere, who started car manufacture, I think, in the early 1900s. Singer was an independent
Oh, was it? Before?
car manufacturer,
Okay,
and then
okay.
I think they went into bankruptcy, and I think they were bought over.
Okay. One thing that was interesting that I was researching is the Singer badge actually has the steeples or the points of Coventry Cathedral, which is, I think, where the brand sort of originated from, and it was destroyed during World War II.
Right.
And they wanted to pay tribute to it. Look at badges of modern vehicles and even older vehicles. You don't see real true meaning behind it.
Yeah, correct.
You know?
Very few had
It's-
some story behind it.
It shows that it stands for resilience and history and heritage. When you look at the wooden dashboard and the dials and everything, it's really timeless.
So one thing that has to be emphasized, that this is not a badge engineered Hillman wings. There's
Okay.
a distinct difference. On the features, the power is slightly more,
Okay,
and some of the parts may fit, but not all the parts.
interesting. Yeah. All right, well, I think we've had enough time chatting about it. Shall we take this out for a drive?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it. So Ramal, tell me about why you enjoy driving this car.
For one thing is, I've been a car enthusiast from the time I can remember, probably from the age of 5. And I think seeing what you see now, there have been so much of diversity in cars at that time, or designs and stuff like that, and various features. So it's actually in one way getting into a time capsule, again time to simpler times when childhood, teenage times, adolescence, and all that go on. And also it takes a lot of skill. It's not everybody who can drive a vintage car or classic car. And also you become part of the machinery. It is like you got to be a part of the car, a part of the mechanics to enjoy the car. If not, nothing is automated. You got to anticipate every move. You got to, in other words, sharpen your skills and be alert on the road so that you manage to drive or adapt to drive to the current road conditions. So all that challenges your faculties, if not anything else. Definitely it's a joy.
It's so different to driving experiences from today, you know, like just the car won't go without you. It's the opposite of a self-driving car in so many ways. So, you know, it's from a time where you really needed a skill. It makes your day-to-day so much more interesting, isn't it?
And also going into the past, I mean how the cars are made and the technical specifications, things like that.
So you drive this car?
Yeah, very regularly. At times I take it out of Colombo.
Okay. Where have you been?
So I've been to Galle and on the other side up to Ramagada.
Lovely.
So it's challenging in the sense you have to adapt on a long distance because you're competing with newer cars that probably are much faster, easy to handle, and you got to still keep the road rules because the tendency to speed in these, because these are still quite fast, is very, very tempting. But one thing it does do, in my case, it has expanded my social network. In the same sense, I mean, people stop to admire the car or to ask about it. One of the flattering things I've seen is when I park this outside my house, I heard the rumble of a scooter. The scooter stopped. So I peeped through my keyhole to see there this father and a small boy. So he wanted to pose for a picture on the car. So I knew if I got out, that would have upset it. He put the kid on the bonnet and took a picture. So for that was flattering. So I think to that extent,
That's lovely.
it draws a lot of attention. It's educative, and it would be a pity not to have this running.
Absolutely.
So of course, for me, it's been like a mission.
No, I completely agree. Like, I mean, I think when people see these cars on the road, they smile.
Yeah, of course.
You know, they respect you for keeping something like this on the road because it gives happiness. And even at the recently concluded motor show, you saw the smiles on people's faces, the
It was a
excitement.
big draw.
And when they see a car like this, the first thing is not, oh, what an expensive car. Oh, do you know how much this costs? Oh, it's like, what a beautiful car.
True.
What a graceful design. What a lovely color.
What is more interesting is that when you are stopped by the law, so it's not to check your license, it's just to check out the car. So that is quite amusing
Of course.
and interesting. So you get into a conversation with these guys, and all in all, a very pleasant hobby. Expensive, but very
Yeah.
pleasant.
Just moving on to the actual driving dynamics of this car, it's so silent. We had to mount the mic on the silencer
Okay.
to get the sound for this video.
So these have been very well tuned.
Yeah, okay.
One
Right.
thing,
Yeah.
tuned to the specifications,
Lovely.
maintained to the specifications,
And also just, I think from factory, you know,
this was the top level. Okay, I think Roots had this badge engineered with the Hillman wing.
Yes.
But there's a distinct difference. This was built for performance as well as for luxury.
Yeah.
So the finishes are different. The car is actually, it's a different car to the
Yeah.
Hillman wings.
It doesn't roll in corners either. No, it's quite
Very-
flat, but it's
Actually-
comfortable.
Actually, I would go to the extent of saying when I was overhauling that I think there is what you call blueprinting, right? When you do a racing car or something, you do the bends of the brakes and the directions, all that are similar. You can't interchange the right hand with the left hand.
On this car. Okay, interesting. So it's a 4-speed
The 4-speed.
on the column, right? It's a column shift.
It's a column shift.
Column shift, lovely. Compared to a floor shift, like what's the draw of a column shift?
Column shift is convenience, gives you because I learned my driving on a column shift.
Ah, what was the car?
It was a Ford Corsair.
Okay, right.
My father's car.
Something we featured previously on this
Yes,
show.
right. Column shift comes with either cables or levers. So this
Okay.
is lever.
Okay,
When the cables get old,
they snap.
then more than snapping the entangle.
Oh,
So then it
okay.
takes a lot of skill
Yeah,
to maneuver
yeah.
to prevent them crashing. And when you're on the top gear, sometimes you're on the second. So
Yeah,
once adjusted, it's very easy. It's like fingertip
Yeah.
operation.
yeah.
There's a lot of mechanical work that goes into keeping it perfect,
Right.
rather than a floor shift.
Okay. And I think the other thing it seems to do is that it does open up space in the cabin,
Definitely.
in the middle, because you can actually have 3 abreast seating here.
That was the idea. These are bench seats.
Yeah.
So the bench seats were designed to accommodate 3 passengers, driver plus 2 passengers. I don't know how legal it is today, but
It's amazing because you can have 6 people in a convertible
Yeah.
in such a small car.
correct.
It makes perfect sense, and I think even modern cars now, the Land Rover Defender, when it came back, they offer it as option.
Oh, really? Okay.
Really nice to have a car like this on the show because generally when we do a convertible,
Okay.
it's a sports car.
Yeah, it's a saloon, really.
It's meant to carry people so more people can enjoy the experience. In a way, sports cars have come obviously so far from this time that you can't compete in terms of speed anymore with a old car, sports car and a new sports car. But this car, you really don't feel its age
Correct.
because it's built to be a luxury car, and it does that job really well even today.
But these were really a crossover between a family car and somebody who was just getting into life. Sort
Yeah.
of thing. I mean, the family
Yeah.
to enjoy the
Yeah.
sun and the fun and the wind in your hair.
Yeah. Without really any compromise on space, practicality. I mean, it's such a great all-round. All right, Ramal, thank you so much for your
My
morning.
pleasure. Not at all.
And it's been great having you on Classic Car Diaries.
My pleasure.
We'll catch you next time.
Of course.